All right, good evening, everyone. Welcome to Yoga for a Healthy Heart. We are going to be together for the next hour. And tonight's yoga practice is going to be very gentle, very low to the ground, and designed for maybe you've just eaten dinner or you're going to be going to bed an hour or two after you get home, if you are home, going to bed. And so this practice will help facilitate a good night's sleep. So my name is Kim Kreider. I am a health educator, community health coordinator with WellSpan here in Franklin County. I'm also a certified registered yoga teacher, and I think I'm closing in on about 700 teaching hours at this point. And so enjoy teaching yoga, enjoy especially to people that are new to yoga. So thank you all for being here. As you may know, February is nationally recognized as Heart Month. And so we're here doing yoga for a healthy heart. And I'm going to do a little bit of education around the importance of celebrating Heart Month. A little bit of gloom and doom, but we're here to make sure that doesn't seep into our personal lives. So heart disease is the leading cause of death in the United States, and risk factors are high blood pressure, high cholesterol, having diabetes, being overweight, or being non-active. And we're tonight I'm going to cover how stress affects the heart and finding ways to manage your stress, one of which is yoga and meditation, which we'll be doing tonight. And then how being physically active can help you manage stress, again, something we'll be doing tonight. So when it comes to how stress affects our heart, chronic stress is a response to emotional pressure that's suffered over a prolonged period of time. So acute stress would be somebody pulled out in front of you in traffic, and you have that moment of quick stress, and then it dissipates in 5 minutes or so. Chronic stress is when you have stress over a period of a long period of time, and it might come from a variety of sources. And so chronic stress can disrupt nearly every system in the body, and it can suppress your immune system, upset your digestion. If any of you have had long-term stress, I'm not telling you anything you don't already know. It can also help speed up the aging process. So, and sometimes chronic stress can be out of our control, like an illness, or a life change situation, and we have to work our way through that. And having tools in your toolbox to minimize chronic stress is helpful. And then when we feel stressed, we can feel irritable or anxious or overwhelmed, and those are all normal feelings when we're stressed. And doing things like meditation and mindfulness and yoga, breath work can help begin to reduce those feelings. And I wish I could tell you that we could get rid of all stress, but as we know, that's not how life works. So we can't remove all sources of stress. But like I said, there are coping behaviors. We're going to be practicing a lot of them tonight. Certainly not an all-inclusive list, but definitely things that you can take from tonight and practice in your daily life. And they can help reduce sort of those uncomfortable physiological feelings like irritability and anxiety and things like that. And so some other strategies outside of what we're going to work on are setting limits. So determining what's necessary for you to do, focusing on that. I know for me, when I get really overwhelmed, I will often ask myself, what do I absolutely have to do today? I have to get groceries and I have to cook a meal. That's all I have to do. Everything else it would be nice to do. And that helps me alleviate and set limits on my day when I'm feeling overwhelmed. Sleep. Often one of the most overlooked areas that we can make improvements in has a big impact on our health. Sleep is nature's nurse. It allows our entire body to reset and kind of, you think of a computer that defrags, has that defrag process. That's sleep for us. So finding ways to get a really nice sleep environment, so you get a good night's sleep, is really great for the heart. Breathing, physical activity is the best way to manage stress, but breathing is the gentlest way. So we will be working on some breathing techniques tonight. And it's one of the most powerful ways to restore your body after the stress response. And deep breathing or abdominal breathing, using your belly, really filling up your lungs and your belly as you breathe, is part of that process. It helps regulate our heart rate and then improves oxygenation of the blood and releases tension in the body. The best thing is we all know how to do it. You know, we're just doing it in a very intentional way, and it's free. We can do it anywhere we are, and no one's the wiser that we're using our breath to help calm our body. And then of course you can always talk to a friend or a professional, whether that's your doctor or a clergy member or, you know, a friend. And then, as I said a moment ago, physical activity and stress. Physical activity is a wonderful way to alleviate stress. And not only in the moment, but over the long term. And of course, physical activity is great for heart and lung health. Physical activity helps bump up the production of things like endorphins, neurotransmitters, and so that helps us feel good. And when we get stressed, it's hard to think about trying something new. So the more we can practice these tools over time, the easier it's going to be for us to recall them when we need them. And because the last thing you want to do when you're overwhelmed is think about what I need to, I've got to learn this new thing. So tonight we are going to have our yoga session. It's going to include some mindfulness. It's going to include some meditation. And yoga is often, it's a blanket term, but we'll have a physical practice. We'll have our breathing practice, also part of yoga. Mindfulness is just staying present. It's just being in the moment, and your full attention is on what we're doing. Yoga is meant to tire out the body and use the body in such a way that when it's time to meditate, the body is not calm. And so we're going to be focusing on some meditation near the end of our practice. So I'm easy seated, and that's what this is officially called in yoga, Sukhasana. And so you don't have to be in this pose. We're going to start here. Again, you don't have to be in this pose. If this is uncomfortable for you, you can bring feet out in front. If that, our goal is to sit up nice and tall. Maybe you're here. Whatever allows you to sit, we won't be sitting here too terribly much longer. But if you also need to be here, if you bend the knees and have the heels on the floor, it's going to give you a little lift to the back. Find what feels comfortable for you. We're going to start by just bringing our hands together. And we're just going to begin to rub. We're going to start out nice and slow. We're just rubbing the hands together, just creating some heat. Creating some warmth, creating a little bit of energy, and you can pick up the pace a little bit and start to feel the warmth in your hands. And creating that energy, and hopefully, I can't see everybody online, but hopefully you're following along a little bit faster. And then take the warm hands and place them over your heart. You can close the eyes for just a moment. And just take a moment to allow the warmth of the hands to penetrate into the heart. In a moment where you can practice a little kindness toward yourself, a little love toward yourself. You created that energy with your own hands. And then gently release the hands down to the floor. And we're going to bring our legs out in front, heels on the floor. Arms are gonna be back behind. I'll turn to the side just a little bit so it's easier to see. You can be here or here, whichever one feels best for you. A little bend in the elbows, knees are bent, and we're just gonna begin to rock side to side. We're taking our time, we're not going fast at all. When we are thinking about yoga, we want to think about having a nice long spine. Excuse me. And now let's add our breaths. So let's everybody let our knees drop over to the right. We'll all start with our knees toward the right. We'll take a nice big inhale. Exhale, bring the knees to the left. Inhale as the knees come right. Exhale as the knees go left. Inhale as the knees turn right, and then do this at your own pace. You may be all at a different pace. Exhaling as the knees go to the left. Inhaling as the knees come to the right. You determine the speed. Slow and gentle, nice intentional movement, intentional breathing. Elbows are soft. We don't want to lock our arms. And then whenever you feel ready, just come back to center, come back to stillness. We're going to begin to make our way into tabletop. So we'll swing our legs around to one side or the other, coming onto all fours. If this is hard on your knees, you can tap the knees by just folding your mat over slightly. If you want to do that, you can do that. You can, if you have a towel or a blanket, you can tap the knees that way. So we're going to start just by checking out our foundation here. What I mean by that is everything is in alignment. So we're stacking our joints. So try to relax for just a minute and take a look at each shoulder, and it's lined up right at the wrist. Our fingerprints are spread nice and wide. That middle finger or pointer finger is pointing straight ahead. Take a look at your elbow creases. Move my sleeve here and turn this way. We want to rotate our upper arm bone, and that's going to cause our elbow creases to rotate around. So that's what we're looking to do. We have some softness in the arms, and then our knees are right over our hips, and the tops of our feet are on the mat. If the tops of the feet on the mat is uncomfortable for you, you can always curl the toes. Either one's fine. So we're gonna start here, and we're gonna come into cat-cow. So I'll talk us through first, and then we'll begin to flow together. So on an inhale, I want you to allow the tailbone to come up toward the ceiling, belly lowers down toward the mat, heart radiates forward, pull the shoulders away from the ears and gaze toward the front edge of your mat. And then exhale, scoop the tailbone under, pull the belly button up toward the spine, arch the upper back and drop the head. Inhale, allow that tailbone to curl up toward the ceiling. Belly lowers, heart shines forward. Gaze forward, exhale, scoop the tailbone under, belly button pulls up toward the spine, arch the upper back, drop the chin to chest. Inhale, here we go, we're gonna start to flow. Inhale, belly lowers, hearts forward. Exhale, scoop the tailbone back, arches, chin to the chest. Inhale, tailbone up, belly down, heart forward. Exhale, scoop the tailbone, belly button up, upper back arched, chin to chest. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. And exhale. Warming up the spine. Inhale. Exhale. And 3 more to your own breath pace. I'm going to stop talking. Whenever you finish that last cat cow, that's what we were just doing, we were warming up the spine, we've done some twists, so we've taken the spine, side to side. We've done extension and flexion, and now we're getting ready to move laterally, so we're staying right where we are. We're gonna extend that right leg out. Toes on the ground, I'm just gonna scoot forward on that just a little bit. We're gonna extend the toes out. And then we're gonna make a nice sweeping motion with that right toe all over to the left edge of your mat. Only to where you're comfortable. And then I want you to look right at that left shoulder at your toes. And then we're gonna bring it back to center. All right, so take a nice big inhale. Exhale, sweep the foot, look over your shoulder. Inhale back to center. Exhale. Sweep and look over the shoulder. Inhale back to center. Exhale, last one to the side, looking over the shoulder. Inhaling back to center, and we're gonna bring the knee back under. We're gonna come down to the elbows, with the elbows right where the palms were. And we're just gonna rotate the hands one way and then the other. Just giving the wrists a little bit of a break. And then whenever you're ready, bring the palms of the hands right where the elbows were. And we're getting ready to come out of tabletop. We have 3 more sweeps to do. We're taking the left leg out long. We're gonna take a nice big breath in. And on an exhale, sweep the left foot over to the right and look over the right shoulder. Inhale back to center, gazing straight down at your mat. Exhale, sweep, look over the shoulder. Inhale back to center. Exhale, sweep, look over the shoulder. And inhale back to center. Now bring that knee right back under the hip. And we're gonna come into child's pose. So I'm gonna give you some alternatives for child's pose. You can stay right where you are. I'm just gonna move. You have the option to have legs together like this, or you bring big toes together, knees out wide. We're coming back. All right. So legs together, I'm going to show you full child's pose. We're going to do extended arms overhead. You can be here, legs together, or you can be here, toes together, knees wide. So find what works for you. If your forehead does not come naturally to the mat, you can stack the forearms and rest your forehead on the forearms. This should be a restful pose. You can stack your fists like bubblegum, and rest your forehead on your fists. And that will take some pressure off of the hips. So use your body to help you find your comfort. And if this pose is not available to you at all from this position, you can make your way. You can stay in child's pose if you're okay. But if it does not feel comfortable for you, you can always come to your back and bring your knees into your chest. That's a reverse child's pose. So if that feels more comfortable for you, feel free to do that. So you can either stay in child's pose with the belly down toward the mat, or come to your back and pull the knees in toward the chest. You can have the legs together or big toes touching knees out wide. Either one's fine. I'm going to move back into position. So make your way out of child's pose. I'm going to turn to the side again. And if your wrists are hurting, yeah, I see some that's completely normal, right? We're not in this position to using our wrists like this, putting weight on our wrists. So while I'm going to demonstrate this next pose, you can come up to your knees if you want to in this walk, and then not come down until we have an idea where we're going. So we're starting in tabletop. We're going to take the leg up, like we did just a minute ago, and then we're bringing the leg forward. And I'm hearing some giggles here in person, so, we're coming into tabletop. Well, I'll start with the right leg. Let's take the right leg out long. And I have been practicing for a long time. This movement may not come naturally to you, that's completely normal. So take your time, you may need to use your hand to help you. We're gonna take that right leg, that long extended leg, and bring it forward and through. All right, you may need to reach back and use your hand to help bring that foot forward. But this is where we're gonna end up. So however you get there. Now I want you to squeeze the inner thighs toward center and rise up. If we're squeezing everything in and up, it's gonna help with the wobblies. And the wobblies are normal. I'm doing it right now because I've let my center go. So we're gonna squeeze in and up. That back foot is on the mat, or the toes are curled under. Foot on the top of the foot on the mat is gonna be less hard on your knee. And we're gonna start to move. We're gonna inhale the arms up and overhead, like you're holding a big beach ball. And I want you to bring the arms like you're making a big W. And then we're gonna inhale the arms up. And we're gonna exhale like we're making a big W. Beautiful. Inhale the arms up. Exhale, make that big W. Inhale up. Exhale W. We're gonna do one more. Inhaling up. Exhaling W. Inhaling up and hold. Here we're gonna change our movement. We're gonna take a nice big inhale. And then we're gonna exhale and twist. And inhale and rise, coming back to center. And exhale and twist. Falling is normal. Inhale up. This is our last one. Exhale and twist. Inhale, coming up. And then exhale, we're just gonna bring the hands back down to the mat. You can be on the fingertips. And then we're gonna come back into cat-cow. And we're gonna take the left leg out long. We're gonna do the same thing on the other side, and then we're coming out of all of this. So please feel just a little bit. So we're taking that left leg out long. And then we're going to bring the left leg up and through. Take your time getting there. Back foot's on the mat, front knees over front ankle. We're gonna squeeze everything in and up and rise. Nice. We're gonna inhale, circle sweep the arms up, like you're holding a big beach ball. Exhale, big W. Inhale up. Exhale, big W. Inhaling up. Exhale, big W. Inhaling up. Exhaling, big W. Hold here. I want you, if you can, to just pull the thumbs back a little bit so you're opening up this chest space, especially if you work on computers. This helps counteract those computer shoulders. And now bring it back up. And here we're getting ready to twist just 3 times. Inhale, exhale, twist. Inhale, unravel back to center. Losing my balance. Exhale, twist. Inhale, up. Exhale, twist. Inhale, up. And here we go. We're going to rain the fingerprints down. Coming to either palms or fingertips and bringing the leg back. And then find your child's pose. So whatever child's pose, you may come to your back. Child's pose was either on your back like this, or on your mat, face down, like this. Again, if you're belly down and you want to stack your forearms or fists, so take a moment here. And I want you to, no matter which direction you're facing, face up or face down, we're going to take 3 deep breaths. We're going to take a nice big inhale, and I want you to imagine blowing the belly up like a balloon. Really inhaling into the belly. Feel the body expand, feel the body fill, and then exhale slowly and feel the body release. Feel the body soften, feel the body let go. And then inhale deeply, fill the belly, feel the body expand and fill. And then exhale slowly. And last one, inhale deeply, fill, expand. And then exhale slowly. And then we're going to come out of child's pose. So if you're on your back, make your way onto your bottom. I'm going to turn to the side again. We're going to sit up just a little bit. We're going to bend both knees. Heels are on the mat. We're sitting up nice and tall. So bend the knees as much as you need to so you feel like you can sit up tall. So if they're really bent, that's okay. So be where you feel comfortable. Hands can be behind the thighs if that feels like you have some support. We're going to take a nice big breath in. And I want you to imagine as you inhale, there's a string pulling the crown of your head up toward the ceiling. You're sitting up as tall as you've sat up in all day, all week maybe. And then we're going to hinge from the hips on the exhale and come forward. And you only come as far forward as it's comfortable for you. Hands can be on the backs of the thighs. Maybe you bring them to the ankles. Maybe you have you're grabbing onto your pant leg. Maybe you're reaching down for the bottoms of the feet or between the toes. So find what's available to you. And once you get there, then allow the upper back to round and allow the chin to drop to the chest. And then we're going to slowly roll up, taking our time. And then I want you to see if you can straighten the leg just a little bit, but leave some softness there. They can still be super bent, but maybe they're a little less bent than they were a minute ago. You're going to do the same thing. We're going to sit up nice and tall. Hands can be behind the thighs for some additional support. We're going to take that nice big breath in, sit up nice and tall. And then on the exhale, we're going to hinge forward from the hips, only coming as far as it's comfortable for you. Hands can remain behind your thighs. You can be grabbing onto a pant leg, bottoms of the feet, between the toes, ankles, whatever works for you. And once you get settled there, then round the upper back and allow the chin to drop to the chest. This is a seated forward fold. And again, you're only going to come into the position that's comfortable for you. You may be here, and that's your seated forward fold today. And that's absolutely fine. We never want to force ourselves into any particular form or shape when we're practicing yoga. So begin to roll your way back up. And then we're going to make our way all the way down to our back. So you want to just scoot forward enough on your mat so the back of your head is cushioned by your mat. So you're going to make your way onto your back. We're going to begin some cool down exercises here. So from here, you won't need to see me. So I want you to bend both knees, bring the soles of both feet to the mat. And just like we did when we started, we kind of did the little windshield wipers with the knees. I want you to do that again. Just allowing the knees to gently, both knees to the left and then both knees to the right. You don't all have to be in the same rhythm, but we want to just make small movements with the knees, side to side. It's a gentle massage for the low back. It's a gentle massage for the internal organs. And whenever you feel ready, we're going to begin to bring the knees back to center, back to stillness. We're going to bring the right knee back toward the chest. And then you want to take the hands and either bring them behind that right thigh or on the shin, or maybe again, you're grabbing a pant leg and you're bringing the knee back toward the chest. So wherever your hand needs to be, and the knee may not get anywhere near the chest, and that's okay. Find what works for you. You'll have that right foot hanging out in space, so go ahead and rotate that ankle one way and then the other. We want to make sure that we're, motion is lotion for the joints. So anytime that you can use your joints in all of the different ranges of motion that they have, the more lubricated those joints will remain. All right, so we're gonna slowly release the right leg and let the foot come down to the floor. And we're just gonna do the same thing on the other side. The left knee comes back toward the chest. And this side may feel very different. You may have much more range of motion on this side. So we're gonna bring the hands either behind the thigh, on top of the shin, pulling the knee into the chest. Again, maybe you're grabbing a pant leg to help pull the knee back, whatever works for you. If you're feeling like for you, you have the flexibility to straighten that right leg, you're welcome to do that. You have to find what works for you. Again, that left foot is hanging out in space, so begin to rotate that ankle one way and then the other. Again, continuing to, I'm hearing snap, crackles, and pops with my left ankle joint today. So just a sign that we need to make sure we're moving and grooving. And then we're going to bring the right knee back to join the left. So hands, you can have a hand on each shin, a hand behind each thigh, grabbing the pant legs. Rolling, and then we're going to release slightly, allowing the knees to point up toward the ceiling. Feet are still dangling over the floor. Bring a hand to each kneecap. So now we're kind of holding the knees in space, feet are dangling over the floor, and I want you to draw circles on the ceiling with your knees. You can start clockwise or counterclockwise, doesn't matter, whichever direction you started, let's reverse. Yeah. And then we're going to come back to stillness. We're going to squeeze the knees in toward the chest one last time, a really gentle way to stretch the low back, and then allow the sole of the right foot to come down to the mat, the sole of the left foot to come down to the mat. We're going to take the right leg out long. We're going to take the left leg out long. On your next inhale, I want you to inhale both arms up and overhead and taking a full body stretch. Pointing the toes, bringing the shoulders way up by the ears. Great big stretch, biggest stretch maybe you've taken all week, maybe all year. Since it's only February, I can make that claim, right? So great big stretch. And then release. Bring the arms back down alongside the body. We're getting ready to I'm gonna sit up, but you guys stay lying on your backs. We're getting ready to come into some Shavasana, some corpse pose. So I want to give everybody a moment to get fully comfortable. If you have, we're gonna be here for a little while. So if lying on your back is uncomfortable, I'm gonna give you some alternatives. You can bend both knees Let's everybody just try this. Bend your knees, bring the soles of the feet to the mat. Walk your feet out as wide as the mat. And then bring your knees into touch. If you need to take a peek at me, feel free. This will take some pressure off the low back. But it allows the lower body to also rest. So this may be how you want to stay as we begin to settle down into some meditation. You're welcome to take the legs out long. If you have a towel, a blanket, a jacket, and you want to roll it up and put it under your knees, you're welcome to take a moment and do that as well. And so give me just a second for my in-person folks. I'm gonna open the blinds just slightly because I'm gonna turn the lights out. I want to make sure we've got some ambient light coming in. Bear with me just a moment. So for folks that are online, if you have the ability to darken your space, we're going to come into and practice some meditation here. So give me just a second. So find your comfortable space. If being on your back in any way is uncomfortable, no matter what position you're in, feel free to come to one side or the other. Just begin to breathe deeply. 3 big breaths. All right. Keep the breath gentle. Feeling the rise of the belly on the inhale. And releasing everything you no longer need on the exhale, just for this moment. On your next inhale, imagine you're breathing in calm and peace. And on the exhale, you're releasing anything that robs you of that peace, that calm. Continuing to breathe like this. Inhaling deeply. Exhaling fully. Now mentally scan the body from head to toe, noticing any places inside that are still holding on, any areas that may be still tight or tense. Invite those areas to soften, to release, and to surrender. We're going to take and use our inner eye and our inner awareness to move through the body slowly and deliberately. Keep your focus on the sound of my voice. As I name a body part, use your inner awareness to touch upon that place Keep your inner touch gentle as we move throughout and around the body. When your mind wanders, just bring it back to the sound of my voice. Gently guide your awareness down to the feet. Allow your awareness to travel to the toes of your right foot. And now the left foot. Guide the awareness to the balls of the feet. The left foot. The right foot. Feel your awareness touch upon the arches of both feet. The arc of both arches. Allow your awareness to touch both heels. And now the ankles. Slowly guide the awareness to the calves. Touch the left calf. And now the right. Feel the calves soften. Follow the awareness as it travels around the calf to the front of the leg to your shin. Use that inner awareness to touch the right shin. And now the left. Awareness travels now to the knees, the backs of the knees. Feel both knees soften. Unbuckle. Allow the awareness to travel now to the backs of the thighs, the right hamstring, and now the left. Wrapping around your inner awareness, touching gently both thighs, traveling upward now to the hips, feeling both hips soften and relax. Allow the awareness to travel into the center of the pelvis. Feel your awareness touching the pelvic floor, the pelvic center, the pelvic walls. Awareness wraps around the body, touching upon the lower back. Feel the lower back soften into the floor. Gently guide that inner awareness to the belly. Awareness wraps around, touching the back. Awareness touches the solar plexus now, your core, very center of the body. Move your awareness to the right side of the rib cage. And now the left. Take the awareness to your sweet heart. Now touch upon the lungs. Feel the upper back soften into the floor. Use your inner awareness to touch the right shoulder and now the left. Touch the center of the throat. Wrapping the awareness to touch around the back of the neck. Gently bring that awareness to the face. Touching upon the chin, the lips, the nose, your cheeks, temples, your sweet eyes. Touch upon the entire range of the forehead. Touch and take the awareness to the back of the head. Touch upon the crown of the head. Feel the entire head softening and relaxing. Gently guide the awareness to the mind. If you are deeply relaxed, the mind is still, quiet, open. The mind is free, free to create, free to visualize. In the center of the mind, let's move through some snapshots, temporary pictures. See these images vividly and then let them go. A blazing sunset over the sea, a steaming cup of tea, the hand of the person you love, a warm breeze in early spring, a garden full of flowers, a meadow in springtime at dusk. If you are relaxed, allow yourselves to drop down a little bit deeper. If you are relaxed, know that this is your natural state, your birthright. If you are relaxed, know that you are feeling at the deepest of levels. And Begin to bring gentle movement back into the body by slow. If you're on your backs, begin to slowly make your way onto your right side. Taking your time. Coming into a very comforting fetal-like position, knees generously bent, eyes remaining closed. Palms coming together under the temple, feet going in front of the face. Allow yourself to settle. I'm going to invite you to practice gratitude on this beautiful Thursday evening, giving thanks for whatever speaks to you right at this moment. And I'll invite you to take any sense of calm, any sense of peace, any sense of release. I invite you to carry it with you into the rest of your evening and into the rest of your week. And keeping the eyes closed, I want you to slowly make your way up into a seated position, taking your time, coming into any seated position that's comfortable for you. You're going to begin to come up. Again, be mindful to take our time. You can have legs out long. You can be easy seated. Eyes can remain closed, or if it's more comfortable, you can begin to bat the eyelashes open and take a soft gaze. We're going to end our practice exactly like we started it. We're going to bring the hands together and just begin to gently rub the palms together. We're not going to pick up much speed. We're going to keep it nice and slow and gentle. We'll just go a little bit longer, creating that same feeling of warmth. And maybe this time you associate a particular feeling of love or gratitude or kindness as you create this warming energy. And then whenever you're ready, bring the hands to stillness, place them over the heart, a gentle reminder to show ourselves the same kindness and gratitude and love that we give to others. And then we'll bring the palms together again, just at heart center. Thank you so much for being here with me this evening and practicing yoga for a healthy heart. I hope that this practice takes you into the rest of your evening in a very peaceful, calm way that allows you to have a beautiful night's sleep. So with that, I will let everyone get back to their day. For my folks that are here in person, hang tight until I can turn some lights on. You can begin to bat the eyelashes open. For folks that are with me online, slowly come into the rest of your evening, and please feel free to reach out with any questions. Again, it was lovely to have all of you here, and enjoy the rest of your evening.